Hello everyone, and welcome back to the highlights of our Twitch stream, where I attempt to beat the Pokemon Perfect Crystal mod using only rainbow-colored Pokemon, meaning one Pokemon per color of the rainbow, minus Indigo, due to technical limitations, and the fact that Indigo is a dumb color. And I am proud to say that this might be our least eventful episode yet, where we spend a good chunk of it tackling Team Rocket. But I won't spoil too much for you. Let us get into it, see where we are, what we're doing, and sadly, where we're going to end up. So at the end of the last part, I couldn't remember where to find Surf. A quick trip to Google has told me that going back to Ecruteak City and fighting the Kimono Girls is where we get it. So that's exactly what we're doing. We're heading back there now to face down the Kimono Girls. Fortunately, the gimmick that the Kimono Girls use is that they all have one evolution. And I think this was done just to show off the two new evolutions, which were Umbreon and Espeon in this generation. Either way, this is incredibly easy. You're facing one Pokemon with a team of 6. So it's no hassle to beat one, heal up, beat one, and heal up. I know when they remade this game later, you had to face them all in one go, which was slightly more difficult. Something else I find entertaining. The Kimono Girls kind of had a reappearance in, I think it was X and Y. There were some trainers in similar outfits that were all using evolutions, but they were called Furesore Girls? I think I said that right. If I butchered the Japanese, I'm sorry. But that particular word is the specific kind of kimono they're wearing. The kind with longer, flowing, billowing sleeves. So there's a neat little bit of trivia for you while I beat the Kimono Girls to get the HM. Once I get the HM, we teach it to a Pokemon. I head back down to Goldenrod City to pick up the evolutionary stone while I still have the money for it. Then we head on over to the Lake of Rage to stare down the shiny Gyarados. Now, I won't lie to you and tell you that this was my finest moment in Pokemon, because I really dropped the ball here. I said shinies can count for any color, and the Red Gyarados has been hotly debated whether or not we're going to count it as a proper shiny or not. So my original goal was to catch it and have it in the backlog just in case. If there came a point in time where I felt like the Red Gyarados counted as a legitimate shiny, I would just have that in my back pocket, ready to go. Unfortunately, I completely lost sight of this goal because the battle was going a little bit rougher than I'd expected. And by the time we get to the end of the battle, I have completely forgotten that this Gyarados is shiny. Now I understand, I'm staring down a Red Gyarados. 20 plus years of Pokemon should be screaming in the back of my brain, hey, that's not the right color. Unfortunately, that did not happen, and we knocked out the Red Gyarados. So after our blunder with the Red Gyarados, we meet up with Lance. Lance tells us, hey, we should head back to town. Something might be up with a radio broadcast or some such nonsense. And we head back to town. So it is at this point that I will not bore you nor insult your intelligence. We find Rocket's hideout, and for the next however long, I spent clearing out Rocket's hideout. So we're going to go ahead and skip all of the generic encounters with all the Rocket goons, because essentially they all run the exact same team. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fade cut right now to something interesting happening. And that interesting thing is actually the end of this encounter with this Rocket Grunt. Because our little Maxwell, Nidoran male, has finally leveled up and become a Nidorino. Meaning at any point, we could give it its Moonstone and have a Nidoking. Problem is, we still have to level it up into the 50s so it can learn the moves that it needs to learn as a Nidorino, because it can't learn them as a Nidoking. Anyway, that was cool. Another fade cut to the next interesting moment. And as it turns out, that next interesting moment was our Feraligatr evolution. So we finally have a third stage evolution of our starter immediately after beating the Rocket Executive. So now Lance tells us that the only way to handle this problem is to defeat the Electrode powering everything. And that's exactly what we do. And it's at this point I realize that Electrode would technically qualify for this run under the red category because it's at least 50% red. And by my loose definition of what it takes to be the right color, I could run an Electrode. So I do attempt to catch them here. Problem being is they tend to blow themselves up. And I've only got 3 shots to catch these Electrode. And I don't. I miss my opportunity, and Electrode blows up. Same thing with the next one. It's just going to blow up on me. So I miss my chances for all the Electrode. Thankfully, Voltorb also spawn here. So we are going to find a wild Voltorb to catch. Just in case. I don't think we're going to swap Jolteon. I say think because there is a very distinct problem looming over my Jolteon. And that problem is that Jolteon learns its first electric attack at level 16. We were given the Eevee that it evolved from at level 20. And it doesn't learn another electric attack until 40s, 50s. So we are facing a bit of a problem that it's not going to learn a stab type move for a while. And I'm not quite sure where to find any electric TMs just yet. Initially, I wasn't going to let this bother me. It's annoying that I don't get the same type attack bonus, but it wasn't the end of the world in my mind. I could work around this. Maybe I'd get lucky and find Thundershock somewhere. Well, the next gym has kind of forced my hand. The next gym is an ice gym. But a good chunk of viable ice-type Pokemon are also dual-typed into water. Which wouldn't be a huge issue, except my Growlithe and my Nidorino do not fare well against water. What does? Jolteon. But what doesn't Jolteon know? An electric type move. Which, once again, I'm willing to work around. The matches are a little bit longer, they're a little bit grindier, but feasible. That is until I meet the second trainer's Dugong. This Dugong, being almost level 30, and knowing Rest, almost stalls out my entire team. I don't have anything on the team in particular that can hit this Dugong hard enough to deal the damage I need to deal before it can rest again. We eventually get incredibly lucky with a combination of accuracy drops, and I think the Dugong ran out of uses of rest at some point. We entirely fluked this match. There was no reason for us to practically win this. That Dugong out-leveled us, outplayed us, and outpowered us. So I know for certain at this point I have to find an electric type move for the Jolteon. And as my chat pointed out during the stream, the best way to find that is through the game corner and gambling to get enough coins to buy the TM they sell for Thunder. And sadly, that was where we had to end the stream. So, unfortunately, next time I'm going to have to sit down and grind out enough games and hope for enough jackpots that we can get the TM, teach it to the Jolteon, and hopefully make the rest of the gym a little bit easier for us. But that's it for this time. Thank you all for joining me. As always, I love and appreciate your company. You have a wonderful day, and remember, we stream this Mondays at 6. Check it out on Twitch. Come join me live. You never know what kind of shenanigans I might get up to. Or when I'm going to need your help to tell me, hey, the Game Corner sells that TM you need. You guys are awesome. I love you all, and have a wonderful day.